In Day 1, rough titrations are used to determine the final pH of certain combinations and finding appropriate indicators based on the equivalence point. In Day 2, you will test 2 combinations of acids and bases. Through using titration and graphing titration curves, you'll find the unknown concentration of the analytes. Don't forget to always wear your apron and safety goggles at all times to prevent any contact with hazardous or corrosive chemicals. Also, remember to thoroughly wash your hands with soap and water after the lab has been completed.
Make sure to wear closed-toed shoes and keep up your hair in a ponytail. Here are some examples of some acids and bases you may use. Many of the strong acids, such as hydrochloric acid, are severe body tissue irritants. Methyl red, phenolphthalein, thymolphthalein, and litmus paper are some examples of indicators you may use. Also, don't forget your distilled water.
Before using the burette, in order to avoid contamination of the titrant, you must first pour in distilled water and let it flow out, and then repeat this process with a small amount of the titrant that will be used. This way, no other chemical can be present in the burette during titration to alter the concentration or cause an unwanted reaction. The analyte is always the unknown solution, and the titrant is always a strong acid or base such as sodium hydroxide or hydrochloric acid. When the stopcock is vertical, this means that the titrant can flow through. When it is horizontal, it stops flowing. Using a beaker instead of a flask is more ideal because this way, during titration, you can keep the pH meter inside the beaker and stir it as needed. During titration, when the analyte briefly changes color before reverting back to its original color when mixed, this indicates that it is approaching the endpoint. Make sure to be extremely cautious when adding titrant at this point so the endpoint isn't missed. Here, you will see a sharp rise or drop in pH.